Okay, so we're in agreement that you will go to your friend's house when mom has company over, and you will communicate with her when you do have company over, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so as far as you go with understanding, you know, mom's position and all that stuff, do you feel like you could work on that a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't have a choice but to work on it, because if she's gonna date women, then I had to get used to it. My whole thing was just like, she could have just told me before. Like, I found out through that situation that her not telling. She would just set me down and just been like, you know, I've had feelings for women in the past, and I would have kind of been like, oh, okay. It'd been fine, but it was because it just kind of came out of nowhere in the midst of the divorce. That's where the whole, like, anger outbursts have come from.
Okay. So would you say that you're angry 80% of the time, 60% of the time?
I'd say maybe 30-40% of the time, and then if she asks me something that deals with my dad, then that pushes it up to like 80-90.
Well, let's talk about that. Does your dad call or text you? Do y'all have a good relationship?
No, not at all. No communication since they got a divorce. Since he moved out, I haven't heard from him.
Okay. Has he talked to you?
I mean, we've talked a few times, but I didn't know that he wasn't communicating with you at all.
Why didn't you tell your mom?
I was just like, he's the adult and I'm the child. So if you don't want to talk to your own child, then I'm not finna. I don't feel like I should be reaching out to you, especially when you're the parent. So that's why I never said.
How does that make you feel as her mom to know that she felt like that and that he hasn't even reached out to her?
That's hard because I think that growing up, you know, without my dad and always wanting a relationship with my dad, it's kind of like, damn, like I didn't know that that was what that was leading. And then there's also a part of me that's also kind of like, as you're headed towards adulthood, and I feel like knowing where we have been, there should have been an expression that of that being a thing, you know, and all these many outbursts and conversations we had, that has never come up. And I just feel like if she would have told me, or if she would have at least sent a text, you know, expressing her feelings, then we wouldn't have had such a harsh conflict.
Do you feel, well, let me rephrase. It appears to me that she didn't feel comfortable enough coming to you because of how you react. And you can tell me if I'm correct or not.
Correct.
Okay, so it's kind of hard, you know, for her to come to you because of how you react. So maybe that's another goal we can have. That could be our second goal, is to, you know, have better communication, but also for you, mom, to react differently.
Like, she be having her guard up, ready to like defend herself, and I just need her to just listen when I need her to understand me.
So is that a goal that we can have?
That's what we can work on.
Okay, well, tell me how you, because you kind of like shut down a little bit. So do you feel you react negatively to her?
I try not to. I really do try not to. But again, I think that apparently our relationship has been a little bit, you know, dismantled. So I'm not gonna say damaged, I'm gonna say dismantled. So it's something that we're gonna have to just build up on and just start from where we are now and work towards a better situation.
Right. Okay. So our first goal, just to kind of go back, our first goal is, mom, you have better communication when you have a significant other over and you're allowing Jasmine to go to a friend's house. Our second goal is, Jasmine, you are going to work on better communication and being more open-minded, and mom, you're going to work on your reaction. So it'll look something like, hey mom, you know, I'm feeling like, excuse me, I apologize. I'm feeling like I am anxious today because I was at work and this customer really made me upset and I'm just not having a good day. And she can say something, you know, like, do you mind if I have some space today? Or, you know, do you mind talking about it with me? Can we go get some ice cream? And so for you, your response has to be a little bit more understanding, opposed to, well, do you know how my day was? And, you know, everybody has a bad day. And could it be more like, well, maybe I had a bad day too. So, let's go dinner or let's grab lunch, let's talk about our days together. Do you think we could do that?
Sounds good solution.
Mom, you don't seem like you like that idea.
Sure.
It just made me feel like I maybe need to go to therapy after this session. That's what it sounds like.
Like your individual therapy?
Yup.
Oh, why do you feel like that?
Because I want to be like, well, man, that's just life. And I want to be able to be like, because I don't want her to constantly feel like she needs validation from me. I want her to be able to validate herself, but I also want her to be open and be strong-minded enough to communicate certain things. But I also understand that I do need to soften up a little bit and just be mindful of the situation that we're in right now. So that's why I'm like, maybe I need to go talk about some of my issues, because apparently my hyper independence at this point in my life has kind of gotten me.
Right. Well, individual therapy is very much so encouraged. If you want, I do individual therapy too. So if you prefer to stay with the same counselor, the both of you, or if you want to go to a different counselor to get a different perspective, that's totally fine. But I do encourage individual therapy as well if you all feel the need to do so. But are we in agreement with those two goals?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay. So is there anything else that is hindering you all's relationship that you can think
I
of?
mean, not on my end. It's just a matter because she wanted us to come, so.
I mean, besides my mom and like that whole us not understanding and all that kind of stuff, it's just the other side, but that's out of her control with my dad and him not reaching out at all.
But I mean, like, now that I know that y'all aren't talking, and I mean, I can certainly have a conversation with him and figure out what's going on.
But that's what I don't want her to do, because she shouldn't have to tell him to call me. If you're my dad, you should just call me automatically. But because I feel like he done moved with this whole new family, I feel like he's trying to like satisfy them and make sure they're okay and all this kind of stuff.
I don't think that's the
But
case,
he can send a text if he chooses not to. A text won't take but a second just to say, hey daughter, I love you, I hope you're good, da da da. And he don't even do that.
So I'm gonna stop y'all. Do you see what you just did, Mom? She's telling her feelings and expressing it, and you just cut her off. That's not what's happening. Do you see how you did that?
though.
So it's important that we take a step back and hear how she feels. But it's still okay for you to say, Jasmine, I hear what you're saying and I respect what you're saying, but can I provide a different perspective? And then you can show your perspective. But that's why she feels the way she does, because that's not what's happening. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
So, but I would love to hear why you feel that's not the case. And because maybe you have a different perspective than what she has. Maybe he's told you something that she is not aware of.
I'm sorry that you're feeling that way.
Thank you.
I acknowledge that and I understand that.
I appreciate it.
But I also don't think that that's the case at all. I think that maybe he's feeling some type of way after the divorce and he just is trying to give you some space to kind of process and him some space to kind of process. But now that we both are having this conversation, I think that it would be I think it would lead us in a better direction for us to sit down and have a conversation with him and just let him know how you're feeling. And if you want me there, I can be there. But if not, I can just tell him to call you or you can call him. But again, that's what I'm saying about the whole, you can't just keep this stuff in and not say anything about it and then have outbursts and then sit here with this therapist and say, oh, well, I've said X, Y, and Z, da, 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 da. I had no idea.
You're right. You're right. I mean, I'd be open to, we can FaceTime or something like that.
Okay.
And you just be there
You
to
let me know when you're
mentor. Yeah, we do that.
Don't say dictate. I don't dictate nothing, okay? That man is over there doing his list. Okay, I'm over here.
You be the mediator between the whole conversation.
Well,
Perfect.
just let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
Okay.
So that sounds like goal number 3. So we're gonna reach out to Dad, and see if he's willing to talk. And Mom, you're agreeing that you will be mediator through all of this.
I agree. I'm okay with it.
So do you all feel that we have kind of, for the first session, we've kind of laid everything out and we've kind of have goals and solutions for the issues that were brought upon today?
Doc, it was a lot, okay? So
I know it's overwhelming at first.
it's a lot.
It's overwhelming, but it's gonna take time and it's gonna get better. Also, I like to encourage my clients, both parents, children, individual therapy, to get a notebook, and if you want, I can provide you one at the end of this session. Get a notebook and write down some feelings that you have. So like if you're having a bad day, you can say, hey, on May 3rd, I had a bad day because X, Y, Z, and this is how I handled it. I think that it's important that we maybe work on like some CBT or DBT, and kind of, y'all know what that is, right? You're aware. Okay, great. So, I think that's important that we work on something like that. And what that'll look like is for you, Jasmine, it'll look like if you're having an outburst, or you feel you're gonna have an outburst, you can kind of look at the situation and say, hey, this is a situation. Is it really this bad, or how can I better respond? And then really dissect the situation that way and kind of do some deep breaths. Your mom said that she has coping skills. Do you have coping skills?
I usually just go to my car and smoke.
Okay,
So-
that's what we
Wait, let's address this smoking situation. When did you start smoking?
Around the time we all got divorced.
Huh.
That was kind of my coping, get my mind off of everything, chill, relax.
You're killing your brain cells, but it's fine.
Well, Mom,
But
you
she
said
smoked
you
too.
smoke too.
But I ain't smoking like she be smoking. Okay, I smoke socially.
Smoking is smoking.
Well, I think that what we can do is we can both take accountability,
Okay, you're right.
and we can say, okay, this is a habit that we both have. What can we do to replace that negative coping skill? Because both of you are using it as a negative coping skill.
I would just smoke together and call it a day every once in a while.
Mom, no. No. So
I'm just teasing.
some positive coping skills that y'all could do together.
So, like, could I go for a walk? Is that a
Yeah,
positive?
so we can
Would you
walk.
like to exercise together or by
Yeah.
yourself?
We can do some together, some by myself when I need to clear my head.
Yeah, we can walk. We can do pottery. We can maybe go to the nail shop, individual or separate. We can maybe take long showers and kind of just deep breathe. I do encourage meditation a lot. So those are some more positive coping skills. So how about we do for the next week, because you guys,
a lot of goals. Okay, you have to write this
We
down. and
need it,
email
though.
to me.
but it's imperative.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say for the next session, which will be in about a week and a half, I want you to choose one coping skill and you to choose one coping
I
skill.
already got my coping skills, so you gotta figure out your.
What's your coping skill?
Oh, I go exercise.
Okay, so what's your coping skill?
I'll go, like, walk on the trail or something.
So instead of smoking for the next week and a half, for both of you, we'll do exercise and walking.
I guess you can give me a weed when you get home.
To throw away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smoke it.
Just smoke it. I'm just playing. No, I'm gonna put it up. I'm for real. Like for real. Like to help you reach your goals, we can both put it away in a lock and a safe.
I'll flush it down the toilet.
Don't do that. That's a waste. Okay.
Mom.
Alrighty.
I'm trying to better us.
Well, I'm glad that we're able to laugh about it. So to end the session, if we could, I would like for y'all to tell me what your biggest strengths as a family is.
I would say, you know, when we're good, we're like this. We're laughing, we're giddy, we're having a good time. You know, I'd say we're also very encouraging of one another. And I will also say, we have a good time, we're encouraging, and I don't know, we're always striving for success, which is good too.
And that's why we're here.
Do you agree with that?
I do.
Okay. So individually, we have goals for as a family, as a unit. But individually, what are 3 things that you feel you can improve on?
I could work on communicating better and like listening more and being more observant of the situation, so to speak.
Communication for me and understanding just kind of like she's going through, because right now I guess I take the divorce and I'm looking at it from my perspective, so kind of like understand that it's also a change for her as well, and then work on like my outbursts and getting angry so quick.
Okay. So
That was good.
I think that this session was successful. Do you feel that this session was successful?
It
Yes.
was good because she realizes that I'm human. I'm not just her mom. Okay.
Do y'all feel that I have kind of provided you with some good goals and some
You
good
gave us too many
steps?
goals.
I
so
think
we can
you-
work with it.
I think you were good, because if not, we would have probably had an outburst, and I would have went to the car and smoked and left.
Okay. Well, I'm glad, like I said, you guys could laugh at the end of this and this, mood kind of lightened up a little bit. So let's, over the next week and a half, let's work on your 3 goals, and then let's work on your coping skills and see how that works. Like I said, I really do encourage a notebook for the both of you, just to kind of like write your feelings down. And if you want, y'all can always bring a notebook here, and you can say, on this day I felt like this, and this is how I handled it, or this day I didn't know how to handle it, and we can do something like that.
Okay, but okay, that works.
Mom, it's a work in progress, but okay. All right, well, it was nice to meet the both of you,
Nice to meet you as
and
well.
I will see you both in our next session.
Okay,
Awesome.
thank
Thank
you.
you.